Today we're going to talk about the cinematography of Night of the Hunter, more specifically, some of my favorite shots from one of my favorite movies. Night of the Hunter is directed by Charles Laughton, and the cinematography is done by Stanley Cortez. And I'm giving you the warning now, even though this isn't a review and I'm not going to go plot by plot, there are still going to be some spoilers in some of the scenes and shots I show and some of the stuff I'm going to be saying. All right, let's get started with our first shot.
And how he said, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." And how he said that King Solomon in all his glory.
Now, that first shot is really interesting to me because it reminds me of the Twilight Zone, which is kind of neat because I'm pretty sure this came out like 20 years before that. And this shot does a really good job of showing us that this is more of a cautionary tale than anything. And it's always nice to see, a nice space background with floating heads. It's a little odd. On to the next shot.
45, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Here I come, ready or not. What's wrong? Hey! Hey!
A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them.
Well, now what's to be, Lord?
This shot is one of my favorite shots in the whole movie. We start off with an overhead of, of a little bit of the world of the movie. And then we do a zoom in on this kid and a woman's body is revealed. A fantastic musical cue. It dolly zooms right back out into the world. And then we see the villain, which is the villain because the musical cue was the same as the one with the dead lady, and it's him. And fun fact, the first time I saw this, I didn't know why they showed us some random woman dead and then cut to the main bad guy. Upon watching it again, I put two and two together, and I'm pretty sure that our villain driving in the car is him driving away from killing this woman. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. Next scene. In this scene, we see our villain, and I guess kind of main character, Reverend Harry Powell, is in some kind of exotic dance club, or he's in there something. He's watching a woman dance, and the cool thing about this scene is that we see him, he's obviously attracted to this woman, and we get this neat close-up of him looking at her, shot of her, and a shot of him back and forth, and then we get a close-up of him, and then it pans down to his hands, and it's the first time we see his hate tattoo, and he pulls out a knife, and, he unsheaths it, and maybe it's just me, but I think the reveal of this knife seems kind of phallic in a way, that this is him. He's obviously aroused, and this is his way of trying to suppress that. Oh. Next shot.
Lord, you sure knowed what you was doing when you put me in this very cell at this very time.
In this shot, we only see his love tattoo. And That's because he feels grateful for God, who seemingly put this man into his cell, which to him is destiny. And this scene is amazing because I think it's a really interesting shot. You have Powell praying behind prison bars, his tattoo, his knife, and you have the light in the background. And it's a really interesting shot. This shot could have easily just been him in his cell praying, but I like that they did something different and had him looking out of the bars. It's a neat shot. All right, let's keep on moving.
But it's still here amongst us, tainting us. You must have known about it all along, Carrie.
This scene is visually interesting as hell. I mean, just look at it. You got the triangle. You got her on the bed. You have him standing, and then he puts his arm up. It's messing with layers here. I'm sorry, it's messing with levels here. I love the moment where he's reaching into the light. It's great. And when it kind of pans out, it makes the room look like a chapel, which is fitting because she is now a God-fearing woman and he's this reverend. This scene could have easily been just them two talking, her in her bed, him standing, and that is it. But no, they had some interesting stuff going on. The shadows, oh God, this scene's amazing. Next.
Secure from all alarm, leaning on the everlasting arm.
This shot is so cool. One, we see the boy look. The first thing is that he hears Pow. I love that. He hears him, looks out. It's just blackness and the sky. And then we see a black figure on a horse come up, real slow, trotting down, still singing. And you're just like, what the hell? Keep on moving.
And secure from all alarms, leaning, a fellowship, what a joy divine, leaning on the everlasting arms.
On to our last one. We get the old lady just shrouded in shadows except for her shotgun. Her shotgun is in the light. And then we cut to the kids. It's all dark. And there's this amazing triangle right on top of the boy. And man, the way they use shadows in this movie is absolutely amazing. We go back to the grandma. She's still in the shadows. And then it pans out. And we zoom to see Pal on the stump looking at the house. Super menacing. Super creepy. Fantastic. Stanley Cortez, my hat is off to you. You killed the game, even back then. You were killing the game, man. For any of you who think black and white movies are automatically boring or not good, you need to get rid of that notion right now, because Night of the Hunter is one of the best films ever made, one of the best films ever shot, some of the best acting. It is fantastic. That's it. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Do you want to see me do more of these cinematography stuff? I don't know. And for those of you who are aspiring filmmakers or are interested in film, the best way to learn about film is to watch film. You have a great day.